Mariano Enrique Calvo Cuellar served a brief term as President of Bolivia. He also served as Vice President to Andrés de Santa Cruz y Calahumana between 1835 and 1839. Biography. Educated as a Chaquisaca lawyer, Calvo had been a royalist who was even head of the Cabildo in 1818. He later switched sides and, despite spending a number of years in the political wilderness, distinguished himself in the 1830s as a supporter, collaborator, and cabinet member of Andrés de Santa Cruz, rising to the post of Minister of Foreign Relations. He then became Vice President of the Bolivian portion of the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, again under Santa Cruz, who was both President of Bolivia and the Confederation's supreme protector in Lima. As such, most of the daily running of affairs in Bolivia fell to the trusted Calvo. With Sebastián Agreda's resignation in 1841, Congress was reassembled. The latter desperately wanted to return to established constitutional norms, and thus agreed to temporarily turn the reins of state to Calvo, as the last vice president of Bolivia under Santa Cruz, pending the latter's return. Calvo is thus considered to be the first civilian president of Bolivia. He had difficulty, however, in running the country, with the military divided among pro-Velasco and pro-Santa Cruz camps. In fact, civil war loomed, with part of the country under different military controls, and with a pending Peruvian invasion known to be on its way at the worst of times. The latter finally materialized in late August 1841. Trusting the fate of the whole country to its military, Calvo could only hope for a miracle. The latter indeed occurred, when General José Bolivian, head of the Bolivian army, inflicted an astonishing defeat on the invading forces of Peru at the Battle of Ingavie, where the Peruvian president himself, the notorious Agustín Gamarra, was made prisoner and later executed by Bolivian. With the latter the indisputable hero of the moment, Calvo could only acquiesce when Congress named the General Provisional President, once again pending a possible return of Marshal Santa Cruz. Calvo would die only a year later in Cochabamba. He was the first native of the Bolivian capital, La Plata, Chaquisaca, to occupy the Bolivian presidency, and also has the distinction of having been president at the time of the rout of Peruvian forces at Ingavie.